guys, welcome back to our channel, Big Mama Energy. I'm Tia.
And I'm Brittany.
And today we are doing our second review on Insecure Season 4. And
Episode
this is episode 2.
Absolutely.
All right.
Hopefully you guys have watched it, because if you haven't, spoiler alert. So you might not want to watch it. For sure.
And if you haven't watched our first review on episode 1, then go do so.
Go back and do so, please.
All right. And we're going to just dive right into it. Yes. Okay. So this episode started off with, was it Molly and Andrew?
It was Molly and Andrew.
Okay.
They were on
a date. And it seemed like they got over the little hump that happened last episode.
From the car.
And when she learned that he was dating other people.
Right.
Okay. Now they're in a weird space because Molly feels as though Andrew is not opening up to her, and she doesn't want the relationship to just be all about sex.
Right. She's clearly looking for more. And I feel like, again, I don't know if she had that she hasn't had that conversation with him yet.
Right.
And that's definitely something that you need to do. I feel like, to establish what you're doing. You know, because you never know what someone else is thinking. You just assume that, you know, he wants the same thing as you, but you never asked him.
But, and this gonna also stem back to, like, last season when they first met. I feel like the vibe she gave off is not the vibes that she's giving now.
Right.
She has a change of heart somewhere along the lines. And honestly, I
don't
know if that is because now you learned that he was dating other people. Now all of a sudden that interest has sparked. And sometimes that happens.
It does. Or after sex.
True. That is very true.
Now you're extra interested, okay?
That is very true. Yeah. So, she, like you said, she just needs to be upfront with him and just express to him how she is feeling, which she did a little bit more in this episode, pretty much. How did you feel when, like, he stormed out on her?
I felt like rightfully so. I mean, I had mixed feelings. Let me be clear. I understand that she wanted to have this date, you know, and she wanted to get to know him more, but she didn't really say that. Like, say what you mean. Exactly. Set it up. Set the expectations. Like, say what you're trying to do. I feel like you do need to establish, like, hey, you know, you said you want to chill, and I want to just talk, chat, get to know you.
Exactly. She definitely didn't express how she felt fully in that conversation. She just made it seem like, oh, I just want a chill night. You know, that's it.
And a chill night.
And a chill night, you can get it popping on a chill night.
You can. Or y'all can just eat and laugh and, like, you know, you really wanted to go, she wanted to go deeper and kind of get to know him, because I feel like she feels like they're on that surface level.
Right.
And she wants more. But
and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. But you definitely have to express yourself a little bit better.
And you can't force anyone
to talk like, to open up. That's usually definitely something that happens organically
when they, you know, when they're ready to talk to you, they'll open up. But I feel like, you know, her heart was in the right place.
Absolutely.
She just wants to get to know him.
Yeah, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. And I absolutely adore the fact that he was man enough to call back and apologize.
Yeah, because most people don't do that.
And
you might not hear from him again. So that was like, I was like, okay.
Exactly. And he owned it. He was like, you didn't push me too much. You know, you asked me a question, and I'm just not used to opening up to people like that. It's going to take some time.
Right.
And I think that was a mature conversation.
It was. Exactly. And I was like, oh,
and I really, really like that.
Yeah, I like that. I like the communication between them. I was like, okay, that's cool.
Okay. So, what do you want to talk about next? Like,
as far as let's talk about Condola and Issa and Lawrence. That whole thing is getting weird on Lawrence's end.
On Lawrence's end.
Condola and Issa seem like they're vibing. They're like, look, we gonna put this behind us because we addressed the elephant in the room, as they said, and let's just move forward. You know what I mean? They're not gonna let that get in the way of their friendship, is what they said. I want to see.
And although now that it is getting weird on Lawrence's end, I feel like rightfully so.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't want my current and my ex chopping it up about me. And like he said, I want her to get to know me through me.
Not through what you're telling her. And, you know, your
view of who I am.
Yeah, your point of view. You're an ex, first of all. So you might be scorned, whatever. And maybe I've grown since I've been with you.
Absolutely.
You know, hopefully so. And I don't want you telling like certain things. Maybe I was going to tell her that. Maybe he was going to tell her, he did track and he liked, mayonnaise on his fries or whatever. Like he wanted to share those moments with her. So I get where he's coming from, but I feel like he should have been upfront. Like tell Issa, I don't like that, and tell Candola.
Right.
When she asked you, was it a problem? When she asked him, was it a problem? Just say, yeah, I don't really like that. You guys are talking about me. Could you please leave me out of it? I feel like he should have told Candola that as well, not just Issa.
Right.
So.
And I mean, it could be that level of comfortability. The fact that, Issa is somebody that he has a bond with. They have years together. So maybe he did feel more comfortable saying, letting her know that he feel a way about it. Because maybe to Candola, he think like maybe she'll be like, oh, he's...
Well, listen, let's be very clear.
You gotta be open.
Yeah, be clear with your boo, because then if she find out you texting her behind her back,
y'all still got ties with each other. And I understand it completely. Now, like I said, it was awkward, but I feel like that's what they needed to break the ice and that awkwardness on their end. Yeah. So I didn't see the wrong in it, but I could see where it could get messy and be too much. Like, because now it seems like y'all relationship is going to be built off of Lawrence now.
Trauma bonding. Ciao. A lot of you do it. Okay. A lot of us do it. So it's just like, that's the one common thing you have, one thing you have in common. And now let's be friends. Like, and even though they were friends.
Exactly. But now it could be turned into something else because now this is always going to be the topic of discussion.
Right.
So I definitely feel like what Lauren said was right about like leave my name out of it. Yeah. But I understand the whole thing because the whole thing is an awkward situation. So it's like y'all still trying to figure out how to handle everything. Right. But for sure, I don't think that Lauren should be the topic of their discussions.
No. But naturally, I understand how he could come up because, you know what I mean? Right. They know it's a common ground. You know him. Now you're dating him. I used to date him.
That's true.
Weird.
But like,
that's why I don't really know how their friendship is going to play out. Like, that is very awkward, but... We'll see.
I feel like they should just, talk about work or other things. Like, not Lauren. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Which is going to be hard because when you're somebody's girlfriend, somebody's friend, that's what y'all talk about. Relationships.
Because it seems that they're moving towards that. They're moving towards, like, besties damn near.
Yeah.
So, you do talk about your boo,
Yeah. I think, you know what? I think what probably needs to be had is maybe if they are going to continue being friends, maybe all three of them need to come together and have like a conversation.
I think so.
But I don't know.
But yeah.
I mean, something needs to happen because, yes. Okay. But speaking of besties, let's talk about Molly and Issa.
No.
Okay. So we seen the little encounter where, Candola and Issa was already out talking about work, a little lunch date or whatever it was.
Right.
And Molly was supposed to meet Issa at the same restaurant for dinner, which she did. And Issa just pretty much offered Candola to stay. How do you feel about it?
I felt away. Just because, just like Molly said, I don't know her. I don't know Candola. I don't want her in my business. Maybe that was the only time. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of time to spend time with each other now. Right. Molly and Issa. So it's like the only time we do get to chill with each other and I have all this stuff I need to tell you about my current boo. Now you want to invite old girl and I don't know her.
Right.
And I might not feel comfortable speaking about my business in front of this young lady. And let's be clear. I don't know her.
Right. And I feel that way 100%. What I said about Molly last week is, I'm not going to say it's shame because I don't know what happened to the build up with her and Issa, but however, I understood that completely. Like, if I made plans with my best friend or any friend in general to have a date, dinner, whatever the case may be, I'm going to need you not to invite outsiders.
Exactly. Especially when they have a conversation about that.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That's awkward.
And Molly handed her purse like, girl, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead on. Okay? And she's like, no, let's stay. Like, no.
Yeah. And sometimes, you don't realize, I guess some people anyway, they don't realize like it being a big deal. Yeah. And it was clearly a big deal.
But that's when you need to read the room. Okay, you can always
you definitely
vibe
could
and
tell. And
feeling.
even with Condola, I feel like once Molly gave those looks, I'm like, okay, well, have a good night, ladies.
I'm like, no, you guys enjoy your time, and I'll catch up with you, Issa. Your friend clearly, she just wants to spend that time
with you.
She was like, oh no, I'm staying, and I'm like, girl, I just feel like they weren't reading the vibe.
They wasn't.
On Molly's face, her body language, everything. She just
everything, even from when she took the menu from Condola, she was like, you know.
I was just like, yeah, no. They need it. And I feel like that was essential time that maybe they could talk about some things. What happened at the mixer.
Yes.
You know, she needed to like really bust it up with her bestie. And I feel like that moment was taken away from her.
Absolutely.
So
I definitely felt like, Molly was not in the wrong in this.
No, definitely not.
Because that's my friend.
Exactly.
So.
That's my friend. Excuse you. Okay? At this moment I need her, okay? You could catch up with her, with her whenever you work with her.
For sure. So, TSA Bay.
TSA Bay. Excuse me.
Now, what I will say is when this sex scene started, it was a little bit more okay.
He stepped his game
I was
up.
with it. I was like, okay. It was less awkwardness.
It was.
But then it got awkward again.
He did listen. He did listen to her.
He did listen to her.
To what she wants. And I feel like that's important.
That's very important.
Because older Issa in a few episodes, a few seasons back, she might have just chalked it up like, if it was sex that she didn't like, she might not have said anything.
Right.
But
she
now,
wouldn't have.
This Issa's like, wait a minute. You need to change it up. This is what I like. And I loved it.
And you could definitely tell that he stepped up his game.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, where it got awkward, press my booty button.
And then get awkward for Issa. She clearly knew where it was at. What is the booty button? Because I was
taken back by it. Like, talking about, do that thing, press my booty button.
Clearly she knew what that thing was.
Because it's a thing, apparently, that he likes. And everybody has that, level of freakiness that gets them off.
Right.
So, I mean, do you guys know about this booty button?
Because let me know.
Do you prefer to, get your booty button pressed? Like,
and what does that mean exactly?
What does
you just
that
wanted her to grip on the cheeks? Or did you want her to go like inside? In your butt? I was confused.
Because from my point of view, what I saw at the end, like after they were finished, she looked at her hands like as if it was in his cheeks. So like,
I'm not knocking it. Whatever you like. That's
if you guys are aware and know anything about the booty button, like, let us know because I'm completely confused.
I was confused too. I'm like, what is the booty button? That's probably just a different verbiage for something, but I need to know.
Maybe. But I will give TSA Bay some kudos because he definitely listened to Issa and he stepped it up. It wasn't as awkward and yeah.
And I like the fact that they did use a condom, even though it got lost in translation. Which I was like,
I've been there before.
I was worried about that. I'm a little worried about that. Yeah,
you
gotta be careful. But I did like that they used a condom. I'm like, okay, cool. Right. Sex, love that.
No, but 2 kids and 1 on the way.
2 kids and 1 on the way.
Threw me off. I said, Issa, come on.
And Issa did say she had to leave him alone, and she cut him off, and rightfully so.
It definitely gets messy, but
holla at me when the kid is older, when you have things figured out, because it could get messy. So I'm not mad at Issa for cutting it off. Like, girl, she don't want no mess in her life right now. She in a good space, so I can totally understand that. But yeah, can we talk about that comment? What was that comment that she made to Molly when they were doing their self-care Sunday?
Pretty much she told Molly that she always is looking for a problem. Does she ever want to be happy? Does she really want to be happy?
Right.
Because she's always looking for an issue.
Right.
And I didn't really like Issa for saying that.
I didn't either. I mean, granted, your friends are gonna. She asked her what she was talking about. She wasn't gonna say it, but she wanted to hear it.
She wanted to hear it.
Now
it was kind of funny though, or ironic, should I say, that Andrew said the same thing to her.
Right.
Like, it's always a problem.
It's always a problem with you.
So like, clearly people think this, but I don't see anything being wrong with wanting what you want and asking people for that, or letting these people know how you're feeling, expressing yourself.
But at the same time, it's a fine line between, I feel like, knowing what you want and just like expecting somebody to be perfect and read your mind. And I feel like Molly expects everyone to read her mind. Like, sometimes she's not vocal. Like, she just expects you to be on the same accord as her.
I feel like Molly is very, like, she's not consistent. Like, I feel like 1 minute is like, I don't care, I don't have feelings, and then like
then
you know
care.
you do.
Yeah. So which one is it?
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. She has to be consistent. And I think that's what the issue is with her and Andrew, because like from the beginning, you wasn't even feeling more like that. You wasn't feeling the vibe. So everybody's going to act off of you. For every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah, what you give out.
And what you gave out, he took that and ran with it. So now you're feeling different about the situation. And like, is he supposed to read your mind and supposed to know like that you feeling the kid now?
Right.
So
and the way that she expresses it, like she's not clear. I feel like she's not clear to the point until you make her. Until it's like an argument. Then she's like, okay, well, this is what I'm thinking. Like, no, say what you're thinking from the rip. So then it's like, okay. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because nobody can read your mind. As much as you want them to, you have to like say what you mean. And even with like Issa, I feel like she should have had a conversation after that. Like, look, this made me feel away. You know, they're just not communicating.
They're not really communicating.
And sometimes you don't. I understand that. Sometimes, when you're trying to communicate with somebody, you might just be like, you know what, I'm not even going to deal with it. It might be easier, you think, to just like leave it alone. Right. But it will boil you up to a point.
Because it just makes it awkward. Like, my thing is, if something was to happen, somebody blurted something out to me, like, let's talk about it. Because clearly you felt this way for whatever reason. So let's talk about it. Express yourself to me. Because now it's going to be like this weird awkwardness. And now I don't know if we're cool. Right. Like, no. Just tell me how it is.
Yeah. Especially if you've been friends with somebody for so long.
Absolutely.
That's your girlfriend. Y'all should be able to talk.
Yeah.
Even when it's awkward.
Very much so. But yeah, I feel like this episode, it had a lot going on. Yeah. But I like this episode because it kind of changed my views a little on some of the things that I felt like strongly about in episode 1. Yeah. Especially like TSA Bay a little bit. Like he opened up a little bit. He had a little different. I mean, he was still a little wild. He was wild. But, he listened. So that's the thing. When dating, like, you gotta date people that's gonna pay attention to you and listen to what you like and not just in it for themselves. That's so, I like that. I definitely knew that it was going to be an issue with Lawrence. That's why I said on the last episode, I wanted to see how Issa and Lawrence, relationship played out, because obviously if Condola and Lawrence is dating and Condola and Issa is friends, he was going to be involved in some way.
Denominator for sure.
Now, how do you feel about Lawrence reaching out to Issa?
I feel like as long as you reach out to Condola, like, why is the secrecy? You know what I mean? I don't feel like it's a problem. Like, look, this is how I felt, Issa. You know what I mean? But if it's being like real secretive, like, I don't know, I don't like that. I feel like he should have told Condola, you're dating her. Right. Like, tell her how you feel as well. So y'all all be on the same page.
I think really he felt like maybe Issa was going to try to throw salt into it. So he tried to,
I don't know.
That's the only thing that I can think of. Like, oh, she's going to say something to like destroy our relationship. Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of that would make him reach out to her.
Thinking that he can handle it that way. Like, okay, I told Issa how I felt, so she should just chill.
Right, exactly.
But you got to tell both people how you feel.
Exactly. You got to express it on both ends, because my thing is Issa is not the only one bringing up Lauren's name. Right. So if Condola brings up Lauren's name and now Issa suddenly doesn't want to talk, that's awkwardness, because now she's going to be like, well, now you being weird.
I like what his friends told him, though. They said, listen, nip it in the bud. They did tell him to be upfront, Yes. So I did like that. Can we talk about, I did want to talk about Tiffany, and she really didn't have too much to say on this one. But the little Halloween get together amongst them, it seems like Molly already expressed how she felt about Asian Bae, her boo, Andrew, to her other two friends, and not to Issa. Did you peep that?
I did.
They already knew what was going on. And, Issa was sitting there like, oh, like, I didn't know.
I didn't pay attention to that.
And that's why I was like, well, Issa, I feel like Issa, you didn't know because maybe you're so caught up with Condola that you're not like reaching out to your friend. She's clearly having issues, you know what I mean? Right. So I caught that little moment I definitely caught that moment when she was kind of lost in the sauce for a little bit.
And I didn't pay attention to that at all.
I was like,
to be honest. Now, do you feel like that's it's just lost in the sauce with Condola and that's just it? Or because me personally, I feel like they both have, they both work or doing their own thing. Issa is not technically working, but she's working. She's doing things for herself.
Right.
And
she could have just been busy with life.
And that's what I'm saying. Because once again, although her and Condola is in this weird situation, they started off building this relationship and bond through this work thing. And
I just feel like she's getting so caught up with that. Like and that's happening. I guess you get new friends, but you can't forget about your old friends as well. Right. And I feel like you should know when they're going through some kind of you can tell. I don't know. Because I'm like, how did they know? Tiffany and Kelly, how did they know?
Well, you got to remember how they ended off on the last episode. They wasn't really in a good space.
That's true, yeah. They probably wasn't talking.
And Molly wasn't really talking to each other.
Yeah, I peeped that little moment though. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to say all bad things about Issa. I'm not going to say all bad things about Molly because I definitely feel like, yes, Condola and Issa is spending time together, but I will say it was never a moment that they were spending time with each other that they weren't talking about work.
There wasn't a moment it just went into
it just went into other things. And that naturally happens sometimes when you're talking to people. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying I can see where the dynamic is changing between Issa and Molly, and I feel like each of them have like something to do with it.
Right.
Like they both play a part in it. I'm predicting that because I can see the little issues right now at hand. So.
Well, we'll see because I definitely feel like that's how friendship goes sometimes.
Right. I'm definitely curious to see where this goes. I can't wait till the next episode.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you guys have any comments about this review, about the episode, if you feel like you have a different,
different perspective on that, different view.
Definitely leave your comments.
Yes.
We love to hear it. And also don't forget to email us because you can definitely email us at
bigmamaenergy@gmail.com. Hit us up. Let us know.
Okay. And also remember to like,
subscribe
and share.
Absolutely.
All right. Until next time. Bye.